Marvin art. I'm up in my kitchen today because I just resined a 3x4 foot piece, and I thought I'd put a quick little information video together for you guys because resining can be really overwhelming, especially a huge piece. So I made a few infographics and we can kind of go through step by step the supplies that you need for resining and the steps you need for resining. I know I haven't done a video, it feels like forever. It's been an adjustment, Mo's new school, then we got sick, and then it was Jewish holidays, but I'm hoping to get back to painting really soon because I have so many fun ideas. Plus I'm going away in a few weeks to my October retreat, which is sold out. And then I have maybe 1 or 2 shared spots left for June, I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about resining. Let's talk about the supplies that you need for resining. You need tape. I prefer blue tape. I find that it peels much easier than the green masking tape, but you can use the green, it just could be a little harder sometimes. You need 99% alcohol to wipe your piece down, especially if you're using silicone or anything like that. You have to really get rid of any oils or anything. Like if you accidentally touch your piece before you resin it, the oils from your finger will repel the resin. And I find that the biggest problem people have is getting the resin level and even over the edges and not having little divots. I'll talk about a few things that cause divots. One of the things that cause the divots is kind of the oils from being dirty. Another thing that causes the divots is if you overheat or over torch your resin when you're popping the bubbles. If you stay in one place for too long, it will kind of like torch the resin and then you can get those divots, which we don't want. The next thing you need is a cleaning rag to wipe your piece. You need a mixing cup or a mixing stick. I have to use huge cups and mix big batches of resin, but you don't really have to. As long as it has measuring where you can measure 1 to 1, you should be fine. Your actual resin, there's so many choices of resin, and I always get the question of what kind of resin do I use? So generally I use iCoat resin, which is from the States. I like it because I find it has the least air bubbles and least fluffy things in it. Now, one problem with it is it's actually very thick. So you see when some people pour resin, it's like very thin and it goes nicely. This is very thick. So what I do is I actually put it in a little bath for 20 minutes, a warm bath to let it because resin likes warm. It doesn't like, it likes about a 50% humidity, and I believe it likes like a nice 75, like who does it? I mean, actually that's too hot for me, but it just likes a warm environment so it can kind of do its thing. So I give it a warm bath. You don't want to give it too long because the more you heat it up, the less curing time you have. But again, for one piece, it still doesn't cure for like 20 minutes or half an hour. So you should be fine with that. But what I was saying is because I'm in Canada and now there's always, first of all, the tariffs that we have to pay. And also we're now in a postal strike. So I actually am going to try, I actually just today ordered a new resin. I might have tried it before, I don't remember. It's called, I'm not gonna tell you what it's called because I don't know if I like it yet. I know a lot of people like art resin. I don't really like it, but some people do. I just find every time I use it, it just has things in it and bubbles and things. And sometimes your resin problem isn't your problem, it's the resin's fault. So I'm not gonna use that. A lot of people like stone coat, but again, because I'm in Canada, I have to be a little more picky or choosy with what I do because I don't want to have to pay $300 in tariffs to get this $300 resin to me. Anyways, so the next thing you need always, most importantly with resin, safety first, you need a mask, like a 3M mask for vapors. There's 2 different types of masks. They have masks for particles, or maybe particles and vapors are the same, but one is for vapors and one is for like things floating in the air. You want the vapor mask because the vapors of resin, even if they say it's low VOC, low odor, whatever, still very bad for you. So you want full mask. You do want goggles to protect your eyes, and you definitely need gloves. The worst is getting resin on your skin. It burns a little bit. So what I actually do is I end up double gloving, especially because I spread the resin out with my hands, and by the time I finish spreading, like the gloves, you'll see when I show you, because I taped myself resining, it kind of like hard to control. So I do double glove, and after I spread the resin out, I remove that layer, and then I continue with the popping of the bubbles and covering it up. Next, let's talk about spreading your resin. I actually use my hands because I can actually feel where it's dry and where it needs resin, but you can use a scraper, whatever, doesn't really matter, as long as it's level and you kind of push the resin off the edges so that when it self-levels, it has somewhere to go and flow and be level. You need a butane torch or a heat gun. And what happened to me today was I actually, in the middle of it, I ran out of butane. So I quickly switched over to my heat gun, and I found it for this big piece, it actually went faster. Again, you don't want to keep it in one place for too long, but it really pops those boob blades nicely. And then you need to figure out how to cover your piece when you're done. Because I resin very big pieces, so my piece is propped up on little mixing cups, and then around the edges, I put huge red solo cups, and then I place big canvases on top of that. You'll see what I do at the end. So now let's talk about the actual steps of resining now that you have all the supplies. It's actually very simple. Steps of resining: tape your piece, as we talked about, clean your piece, mix your resin, pour, spread, torch, cover. Like, how easy is that? I know resining is very stressful, but I just wanted to make it as easy as possible. So let's actually go to me resining this big 3x4 foot piece. And let me know if you have any questions. I hope this helps. Bye. Before we look, I actually wanted to show you how I tape off my pieces. So because I do cradled wood, I actually like leaving the wood exposed. You don't have to, but I think this little edge is cute. The way that I tape it, I have one that I haven't peeled off yet. So this is actually just wax paper, and it's taped just like that all the way around. And the blue tape is so easy. Oh, this has been sitting for a while, but it's so easy to peel. I know it's not looking easy, but there's resin on it. But you just kind of like peel, easy peasy, and then keep going around. And I find for circles, this is easier because taping like around this way can get kind of annoying. So that's my little thing, and you put your little stamp here and you're done. Okay, so I thought I'd do a little voiceover for this. This is me cleaning the piece. It's important to put your gloves on before you even start doing this because you don't want to accidentally touch anything. I have mixed my resin 1-to-1. You can see that's like 60, whatever, that's the biggest cup, I think 60 ounces. There are resin calculators online. Of course, I don't use them, but they're definitely handy if you want to know how much, square inches, how much resin you need per square inch. So I just kind of pour it, and I try to get it everywhere around the middle and the edges because it makes it easier to spread it out. So you can see already, this is always the funniest part when I'm watching back, because you see my glove kind of just like falling off and looks really strange. But again, I do this because I like feeling where there's empty spots, and I push the resin right over the edge so it has nothing to fight when it wants to level, and I make sure everything's covered. Now, for me, the most important part is I turn off the lights when it's time for me to pop the bubbles. I find that daylight and crouching down, you have to really crouch down. You can see if the surface is even. You can see here I'm using my heat gun because that's when I ran out of the butane, but it actually worked pretty well. So here I am crouching down. You can see the smooth, don't worry about those little, you see little divots there, but that's just because I put my finger in it to get something out. Those will level out, but you want a smooth mirror-like finish. And here it is. This is still wet, by the way. Maybe my next video I'll show it to you dry, but it just brings out all those beautiful sparkles, so shiny, so mirror-like. And when I'm done, you can see those red cups around the edges. I place my canvases on top. There's Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain, making sure she's okay. I bend down to make sure there's room and nothing bugging it, and that's it. Hope you like it.